Supreme Court staff being relocated as environmental issues forced the indefinite closure. That's our top story in our Barbados Today Evening News Update for Friday, April the 13th. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. The Supreme Court will remain closed indefinitely as authorities temporarily relocate staff due to environmental issues. Following a meeting today between the National Union of Public Workers and the Registrar of the Supreme Court, Barbara Cook-Allen, it was agreed that staff working in the registration department would only report for duty on Monday to accommodate people who need to collect birth, marriage, death, and cause of death certificates. Cook-Allen said only urgent applications will be processed going forward, as the relocation would facilitate a general cleaning of the entire White Park Road Court complex. Deputy General Secretary of the NUPW, Delcia Burke, told Barbados Today another meeting is scheduled for Tuesday to determine where the staff will be relocated to.
The workers are walked, so some of them are left for certificates and death certificates and things on the desk, but I asked them to come on Monday and start over to have a go back home, and we will meet with them on Tuesday. And by then, they should be able to determine where they're going to go, because they're moving them out of in there for a time being.
In other news now, the family of the late veteran broadcaster Vic "Buddy Boy" Brewster has described the outpouring of support and well wishes as overwhelming. Speaking on behalf of his mother, Edwardine, who was too distraught to speak with Barbados Today, son Ryan thanked all those who have so far expressed condolences following the death last night of the former radio DJ, television director, producer, and local entertainment champion.
I know Dad did a lot. You don't really grasp the magnitude of the number of people's lives that he has touched, and it's been evident in the well wishes, support, condolences that we've been getting from so many people out there. I just want to say thank you for that.
I know it's difficult now, but how would you describe your father?
My father was my hero. You know, well, not necessarily being the most emotionally expressive person, he would go above and beyond to be sure that he was there for me, did everything that he could to help me to be who I am and to provide for us, his family. You know, I mean, definition of a father in my book.
Among those paying tribute to the 81-year-old Brewster were two other veteran broadcasters who worked with him at the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation, Vic Fernandez and Win Callender, as well as one of the TV directors, producers Brewster trained, Cecilia Elliott Allen. Retired veteran trade unionist Ulrich Seeley is today dismissing any notion that Barbados is a failed state or on the verge of becoming one. Without naming anyone, Seeley said some political commentators would have people believe that Barbados had failed as a state because of a few challenges it currently faced. However, delivering the weekly Astor B. Watts lunchtime lecture at the Democratic Labour Party headquarters today, Seeley said nothing could be furthest from the truth.
A failed state is a political body that has disintegrated to a point where basic conditions and responsibilities of a sovereign government no longer function properly. Associated concepts with that of failed state are fragile states and state collapse. Common characteristics of a failing state include loss of control of its territory. I don't know if that's evident in Barbados. Erosion of legitimate authority to make collective decisions. I haven't seen the evidence yet. This is me personally. Inability to provide public services. Again, haven't seen it. Widespread corruption and criminality. Don't see these things as hinted here.
Counting has started in today's election for a new administration to conduct the affairs of primary school teachers in Barbados for the next year. Members of the Barbados Union of Teachers voted at 3 schools as well as at the Welch's St. Michael headquarters. Now, while the union boasts of about 2,000 members, only hundreds were expected to cast their ballots, as has been the practice. Incumbent President Pedro Shepherd is being challenged for the first time since holding the post some 6 years ago. But General Secretary Herbert Gittins and Vice President Rich Mark Cave are unopposed. The other positions up for grabs are Deputy General Secretary, Treasurer, Public Relations Officer, and 6 floor members.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
Welcome back with news from the region now. Former Ghana Minister of Finance Ashni Singh and ex-head of the National Industrial Investment and Commercial Limited, Winston Brasington, have been given up to May the 7th to appear in court to answer fraud-related charges. But the attorneys are maintaining that the charges are irrelevant. Javon Vickery reports.
Both Brasington and Singh are out of Ghana. The former head of NISIL and finance minister are charged in relation to the sale of 3 plots of land worth $900 million. However, when the matter was called before Chief Magistrate Anne McLennan, the charges of misconduct in public places were not read. Instead, the matter was deferred until May 7. Attorney-at-law Anil Nandalan told the media that the charges laid against their clients were, quote-unquote, strange. He added that the sale of the plots of land were authorized by a board that governed NISIL.
They received the approval of the privatization unit that has the mandate to privatize property, and these sales were all approved by cabinet and therefore by the government of Guyana. So I don't know where the wrongdoing is.
And on the international scene, as Washington weighs up when, where, and if it is to strike in Syria over a suspected deadly chemical attack, fears are mounting that head-on confrontation with Russia could be the result. So can the world wave goodbye to any hopes of peace? We hear more in this Euronews report.
Meeting for the 4th time this week on Syria, the UN Security Council heard this warning from the Secretary-General.
Increasing tensions and the inability to reach a compromise in the establishment of an accountability mechanism threaten to lead to a full-blown military escalation. I've been reiterating my deep concerns about the risks of the current impasse and stressed the need to avoid the situation spiraling out of control.
While making the case for military action, the US envoy cautioned that you don't rush decisions like this.
And that's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook. We are also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic weekend.